Good morning. It is 10 a.m. in Bahrain, where I'm recording this from, and everybody is probably in a lockdown situation right now across the world, so nothing new. I was just looking at the BSC SENSEX, so let's drop right into this. We are looking at some very interesting movements, and I will get to the 5 minute chart in just a minute. What you can see here is that, despite our fall from 41,000 level all the way down to this level here, which is about 25,000, it's been a cascading effect, mostly like a waterfall. Now, I did produce an article and also a quick recording that said that this could be a dead cat bounce, but ironically, the market has been going up and we are touching the 31,123 level. Now, let's get into the 15 minute, which is my preferred recording chart, and this gives me a lot of picture as to what is going on as well. Now, imagine this. You're going down, 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 and suddenly there is a massive gap up the next day for some sort of news that came in, and I'll get to that in a minute. But basically, it started to have a bit of a drive up, typical in the morning, edge downwards, and then it just kept on going up consistently all the way till the end of the day. Right now, this is unusual. So this is today's actually, but this is very unusual. This is the 9 EMA on mine, which is the orange line. Typically, you would use an 8 EMA, but I've used a 9 just for smoothing out as well. Now, I'll take you to the 5 minute chart, which is where the most interesting stuff is taking place actually. And here is where you can actually see most of the activity happening on a daily basis. Now, look at this. Okay, as it expands, I'll just correct this a bit here, right, so you can see it better. Now, imagine you start the day, gap up, you have a bit of a wave movement, and then as I was recording the last session, it just, saying that, hey, this could be a dead cat bounce, it could correct. I was absolutely wrong, because something is happening in the market. Someone or some institution is buying consistently in increments of 5, and you can see it hugging the 8 AM EMA or the 8 simple moving average, or in our case the 9 moving average, all the way till the end of the day, right? And you can see the momentum here is consistent throughout. It doesn't even have a wave, it's just flat. So this is very unusual behavior. Someone was buying into the market, some sort of news got into the market. What it could be, I assume it could be the pharma stocks. After Trump, requested India's Prime Minister Modi to actually, export all those drugs that we're using, the hydrochloroquine. It could be any one of those reasons. Now, pharma stocks did perform the best yesterday. Now, typically what I'm looking for is to see whether the previous day highs or lows are taken out, right? And this gives me an indication of whether the market or the stock in particular is actually moving in a particular direction or not. Now, this is as of today. I've marked 8th April as of today, so I'm looking at the previous day's highs and lows to see how today's market will fare. But this yesterday, nothing was happening. It was just going up continuously. So whatever the case may be, let's scroll on further, right, and see where we are today. Now, as you can see, it opened a bit lower and then started inching its way right back up as well until it reached the 31123. So this is the resistance that I have here. I marked this much more earlier, was hoping that this would be the support, but that was taken out, and now that has become the resistance as well. So it's neatly touched that level, come down a bit, cross down, and now you can see these colors changing. So from green all the way up, you see this blue and then red. I'm using special indicators which they call grab indicators that give us an indication of the kind of like volatility and the kind of movements that were taking place. So a blue or a red would signify that, hey, it is not a good time to get in. A turquoise or a cyan, whatever you want to call it, is saying that there is some activity happening. Now, just to help you understand what this is also, these are special indicators that we have proprietary acquired, and they give us an indication of whether the momentum is continuing to go up. So if you see these pink dots on that pink line, that means that there's continuous buying pressure, right? Now here, you can see that after it's crossed over, the pink dots are at the top, right? and that means that there is downward pressure right now. So you can see we've already touched the previous day high. I'm waiting, and this is the kind of movement that you want to see in the market, right? A wave kind of format. This is momentum building up in a particular direction. This was definitely unusual on a 5-minute chart, very unusual. So it was almost as if someone was buying every 5 minutes and it kept on pushing the prices up. Now, another indication that I've got is it could be because of the MSCI, including India, and increasing its weightage. That could be another reason. But I've seen a lot of pressure on pharma stocks going up as well. So that's done quite well for us as well. If you were subscribed to our Zen Capita, you would actually find out the kind of pharma stocks. Fortunately, my dad is a doctor, and he had recommended a couple of things that, in his opinion, were quite good. And they've done quite well, actually. We've looked at a 30 to 40% gain in 3 or 4 stocks already, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, will that continue? Time will tell. I'm not in a trading mode right now. I'm just in an investing mode. Okay, so let's get back to this. Do I see this going down? Possibly. You never know. Let's look at the 15-minute chart, and as you can see, the weakness is starting to kick in. If this crosses over on the 15-minute chart, we could start to see a kind of like decline happening. Now, as I mentioned previously, this is basically a gap up, and typically gap ups are filled up as well. That is, it comes all the way down before it bounces up again. And it may take a few days, it may take a week, it may take even a month, but that's typically what will happen. So unless we're going to fill this gap, you really can't see this exploding further higher as well. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. And if you're looking and thinking, oh, I have missed this opportunity, then I'm going to wait for it to crash, don't. Right? The markets don't care what you think. What I think, it doesn't really care at all. It just says, look, this is how the market is behaving. So I'll take a typical example. My dad called in the morning, and I said, you should have bought some more earlier on. He said, no, the market will crash, etc., etc. It will go down further and all that stuff. And I said, look, it doesn't matter. Your strategy is basically to acquire a position for investing and not for trading. So you buy small increments every week on a Monday or a Tuesday, whichever day you consistently buy that while we're at the bottom of this market. Because once we start going back up, we're looking at a massive increment here. So let's take this. From this point, from 41,000, okay, which is our previous high, all the way to where we are today, we're talking about a 34% increase. Now, anyone should be happy with a 34% increase or 35% increase in a couple of months, right? You hardly get that in a year even. So is it still a good opportunity to buy? Yes. Is it still an opportunity, or is there still a chance that it may go down further? Yes, there very much is. It all depends on your strategy and what you're adopting, right? So if you're a trader, this is not the advice that I'm giving you. If you're an investor, you can start to buy in these few days. So since if you had been buying from since, let's say, March 24th all the way till today, you'd still be in good stead, right? And that still means that if you stop buying, let's say, around about here, you would still have a certain amount of upside just to get back to the previous level, which is about 27%, which is still not bad. If it takes a year or so as an investor, that's pretty good, I'd say. Now, if it will go beyond this, well, that's money in the bank for you as well. And if it takes place after 1 year, I'm just as much as happy. So this is the kind of thoughts that I have on the BSE SENSEX. Do I think that we could see a movement up from here? Well, on a daily chart, I'm looking for this orange EMA to cross over this 21. If that happens, then yes, we could start to see a massive move upwards. But until that happens, we're going to be chopping around for some time, I feel, and how long that will last, I really don't know. Now, let's look at the hourly chart to see any kind of other indications or patterns that we're getting. And as you can see, this was the bottom, which was about 24th. It went up, touched the resistance, came down, and has touched the resistance again. Now, I always believe in this thing called third time lucky. If it goes down further, so be it. That means it's a good buying opportunity at 25,000 and probably even lower. It could go to 21, who knows, right? I'll probably draw the charts, the lines and levels in later on. But if it does come down, let's say, to the 29 level, which is this level here on the 21 moving average, then you could probably see this shoot right back up across and then way up into the right side as well. and that is basically third time lucky. So you kind of like test it once, and if it comes down, even better. If it's tested the third time, that means the move is going to be much more stronger, and this is typically what I'm expecting to see. If it comes down here, buying opportunity. If it comes down here, buying opportunity. If it comes down even to this level, it's still a buying opportunity for me. Have I got stocks in? Yes. If you'd like to know which stocks I bought, sign up at zencapita.com. That's Zen Capita, Z or Z, E-N Capita, CAPITA.com, or check the link and you'll find out how you can sign up.